of the New Zealand campaign in Cold War. Look at this beautiful pink empire. No, Africa looks horrible. It's all mixed up. But Arabian Peninsula, Indian Peninsula, Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Australia. That is all under the rule of New Zealand, and we have fought for 25 days to gain all these possessions. And what's happening now? Well, let's zoom in and let's not listen to this song. So Africa, it's a cluster mix of New Zealand pink and kind of, what is this, darker pink beige East Yakutia. Let's call, I should maybe call them Siberia, but East Yakutia is an ally of us or China, or I don't know, but he has forces down here and he has revolting provinces turned to him, and he's not very attentive to the game. He basically has a stack and his stance is marching, for 2 days, and if it's 24 artillery, he doesn't care. He just don't care. Also, South Africa has Francistown, their super fortress, and they have marched their last Death Star down to Bethany. It's like a 15 or 14 unit half health moving high-tech, no, what's it called, medium armor mix. If you've seen my earlier series, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know why he left his course. I guess they are beat up enough, so he decided to create another Death Star fortress here. I have my fleets outside repairing here with barely any air on it. Oh, I have 12 naval bombers full health. Okay, so yeah, I was lying. I have naval bombers here in case. I have a bunch, not gonna show you in detail, but I have a bunch of anti-air armored cars level 1, light tanks level 2, and some infantry level 4 or 5, and 4 I think. Very weak land forces. 2 stacks of artillery I think I have. One is in Windhoek now. 7 artillery. I'm setting up for a battle with Bethany Death Star. And here are more artillery. Okay, so I could move them down. And is that it? 9 artillery? Is that it? That's not a lot. Oh yeah, I sent 1 stack of artillery is heading. Oh, it was heading back up here to Mexico because Mexico had forces around here. So they should be somewhere. Where? Oh, they're in Doha repairing. They're not that damaged, but I had to send them up here because Mexico had quite a large forge in Sudan, and I might as well repair them in Doha somewhere else. It's 2 hours to next day. You can see in the top right corner of the screen. Don't know if you can read it yourself. Okay, so with that stack of artillery gone, this is basically like my modern high-tech army of Africa is 7 slightly damaged artillery. Okay, and let's see how many level 2 light tanks I have. Okay, 11, but they're no match. Their stats are really bad. Look how bad their stats are. So they can't hold up. They're just placeholders basically. I had, instead of armored cars, I built a little bit better light tanks because I was fighting Quebec at Matadi up here because he had a Death Star heading south. So I am 90% relying on 1 air unit here, which is rocket fighters and level 1 attack bombers, which has a little bit of hard attack capability. And then the shining star of the New Zealand Armed Forces arsenal, the Air Force, which is sitting in Doha in Saudi Arabia, waiting for the 24-hour click, where you get 10 12% depending on morale in your province. We have 100% morale in Doha, and I am actually gonna take a note of to myself here. Yeah, I'm very organized. I have it all under control. Oh, here it is. Uh, yeah, I have their individual kind of values, and now I'm gonna write down. And tomorrow, next day, I can report to you. So we have a hit point total of 2356 total for this stack. It doesn't, the maximum that, okay, yeah, the maximum does matter, 3440, okay. Okay, so that's today's value, and after the 24-hour break in 2 hours, I'll see how much hit points I had. That gives me an indication. I checked yesterday, and I think between 10 and 12% is what you regain in 100% province. Maybe you can read this somewhere in an FAQ or the forums or something. I'm just doing my own research in the game. So okay, anyways, so we have almost 25 fighters, and we have what is this? 18. I think there's one coming. 19, and I'm building another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 19. That's so it should be a stack of 25 fighters and a stack of 25 tactical bombers. That's 50 airplanes, and you split them up into 10, 5 and 5. So that will be 5 decent health bomber, heavily escorted air squadrons. That is what I am using to garrison, fight, take out. And since I've encountered very heavy anti-air resistance, Quebec had very high level anti-air. South Africa had it, mechanized, self-propelled level 3, at least a level 4 maybe. Mexico learned and quickly researched at least non-motorized anti-air. I think level 5 as an axis. That is pretty horrible, you know, it's very strong. And they've all been doing these Death Star anti-air protections moving forward. Let's ignore our Air Force and let's just counter it with anti-air. So I have not been the most useful because I went heavily into air. But at least I've been yeah, China has taken a brunt of the fighting, the losses, but I have supported him by interfering, raiding, and definitely landing and fighting and skirmishing and running around with armored cars and a lot of commandos. You remember if you've seen this series. So I've been doing a hit and run tactic with occasional air support here and there, whereas China has done this brute force breakthrough, loads and loads of artillery and tanks, 300 units left, and he pushed through. So yeah, with that strategy you're gonna take more losses. What do you expect? Mine is more expensive, more micromanaged heavily, and China now again is in the lead. Well, they've been in the lead always. They're almost at 1500 victory points. I'm almost at 1400, and Mexico is down to 1000. United Kingdom is still at 800 because they haven't entered the war. Obviously they have a very powerful army, so wherever they strike, Spain has taken a little bit in North Africa. We still have a few purple Quebec provinces to clean out. Okay, let's do that. I would be happy to give this area away. This would be called Nigeria. And I'm gonna take Lagos from Spain. So Mexico gave this, look, 13 different categories, no, 9 different categories of buildings. I know it has a shit ton of buildings, and Mexico said I can't hold it, so I'm gonna give it by diplomacy to Spain. Now, if Spain accepts that, he puts himself at risk of getting involved into war against a superpower like New Zealand or great power, and I'm not gonna discuss with him. I'm not gonna talk with my allies. China, and it's a port town. I need it to build fleets. It's maybe not in my sphere of influence with regards to China in my deal to cut off in the middle. We agreed to split, basically split Africa. But China asked me, can I have more territory because I lost so much? He's still gonna win the most gold. He's gonna end up player number 1, and he certainly has quite a lot of territory, and a lot of this are cities, because he was very successful in swooping in and gobbling up a lot of territories. I have been able to grab a few towns here and trade with him for it, but now I suggested that we set up a Yakutia kind of colony down here by Lake Victoria in the center. Why? Well, he tried to help the best he could. He didn't really help. He more messed up and took strategic provinces where I wanted to build upgrades. So he didn't help, but he tried. And we won against Mexico, the gold spammer. And it's just a question of time. As long as this alliance keeps together. Now United Kingdom is probably more powerful army-wise than 350 units, and they're all high-tech, and he's very powerful. Not point-wise, not territory-wise, but his armed forces are very powerful. So basically I'm sitting on a navy and an air force and nothing else. So it's kind of a paper tiger in New Zealand. I have some garrisons in my areas. China has no garrisons in the interior, but he has garrisons on the coast of China, of course, and battleships. Lots and lots of battleships. I think it's only battleships over here. Does he have anything else but level 5 battleships? They're very they're better than mine. I only have level 4. In the Pacific, I have 3 fleets. Do I? Yeah. 2 carrier fleets and 1 escort fleet, and quite a lot of let's call it 17 level 4 infantry. Because remember, my really bad infantry, that's what I'm using as garrisons. So when I think about it, what I realized is that New Zealand with 1400 points, I'm very 400 units. I'm very dependent on my allies. I am very... It's just a morale. South Mexico has maybe 400 units left. He has an ocean. He has nuclear rockets. USA has a very, very, very powerful navy. But I think that... Oh, you know what? Maybe Mexico went AFK and left the game. Because otherwise, how could Colombia come back and do this running around in South America? I think they were down to 3 provinces. Or if you watch my yesterday and previous days, I think Colombia was more or less out of the game. And Argentina is out of the game. It's a red dot here. He's an inactive player. He can't come back. I'm gonna send a cruiser and try to slowly with that cruiser whittle away these 4 infantry units down here, and then I have 1 single pirate raider commando unit that I'm gonna take his capital, because capital busting is great in this game. You get morale, which I would need very much in Africa, and you get, my guess is, half of the money sitting in the bank and no resources. Used to be that you took half of the resources, but as far as I have seen now, picking up the game 1.5 version, no resources. I don't know. That is my plan, at least. What time do we have? Quarter of an hour, 50 minutes. That is a pretty good timestamp for this stream, for this clip, 15 minutes. As I said, this has been rest and refit. I am saving resources to upgrade all these bombers to level 7, the maximum level. That will make them incredibly powerful, along with incredibly powerful naval, my air force. But even that takes half a day to save up the resources just to upgrade all my bombers to the maximum level. And apart from that, I am trying to get my industry going a little bit because I'm low on rares all the time. The other resources, yeah, I kind of can, you know, handle them, but rare materials is the bottleneck resource. So I don't expect anything to happen over Christmas. Yeah, it's just we fought very hard over Africa. Now we're recuperating. Now we're settling our situations. Now we're gonna see what we're gonna give to UK for his intelligence MI6 service to us, being a double agent and spying and allowing us to win. Kind of, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's a cheap way of double tricking your alliance. But Mexico spammed out 600 units with gold, so it serves him right. With that, I wish you a jolly good Christmas. Take care, be naughty, and then I hope you enjoyed this 15 minutes update of day 25 of New Zealand in Call of War. Have a good one. Bye bye.